fruits, nuts, and seeds.
Chapatti, thank you for teaching us to be healthy.
The energy that I feel with these meals.
Chapatti, that was really yummy.
Like a kid with no toys. Health is my greatest joy. Come and see, come and be with our host Chapatti.
Hello, welcome. This is Food with Life. I am your host Chapatti. The question I have for you today is, which of the 5 elements, air, earth, fire, water, or space, is most responsible for good digestion? Stay with us. This is Food with Life. Welcome back to Food with Life. I am your host Chapatti, and the answer is fire. Fire is the most important element regarding digestion, and here to tell us a bit about it and good digestion and how we can take care of our body with food and eating is our two wonderful doctors, Dr. Sumita Prajapati and Dr. Dharmendra Dube, who have come all the way from Mumbai, India. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please tell us a bit about digestion and how we can have good digestion.
According to Ayurveda, your digestive fire is always dependent on Pitta dosha, and Pitta is a combination of fire and water element. There is one form of Pitta called as Pachak Pitta, which stays in our stomachs and help to digest the food and turn the food into the metabolism, and then assimilation of the food properly is done by Pitta.
Pitta. So what about all the problems frequently people do have? My father was in the room when I was a boy, and my mother was there, and my mother would say, "Honey, why are you doing this?" And then everybody would leave the room because he let the gas go, and there was nothing we could do. Yeah. So how can we deal with gas and to accommodate?
Yeah, that's true. One of the bad symptoms of digestion is gas. There are so many other, but gas is the very important that shows that our digestion is not really good. First thing, people don't know how to chew their food. Sometimes they swallow the food, which is very wrong, or they eat on the streets while they are walking or while they are driving. This is very wrong habit. Whenever you are eating food, you should sit in a calm place, and while you are eating, you should not talk too much. Because when you are eating the food and you are talking, there is a gap, so you collect air inside it. So already you are putting air in the system, which forms into gases. This is one problem created. Then second thing is, when you are chewing, you should minimum chew more than 22 times. According to Ayurveda, it is 36 times, but at least you can chew more than 22 times. I am sure that you will never get gases problem, acidity problem, and even ama, the toxins or the mucus, you will not collect.
I think perhaps we can develop a chewing counter.
Yeah.
We could put on our drawer, and it would tell us how many times we've been chewing. One thing more I know is a issue people have is people have ulcers. Ulcers, I think it is called acid stomach. What can we do to help them?
Acid stomach is always because of excess Pitta in our system. If there is too much Pitta or acid level, then it start to slowly erodes the internal mucosa, and slowly there is a wound formed on the internal mucosa called as ulceration. So for the ulcer, if you have ulcer, try to eat regular, smaller, frequent meals. Try not to skip the meals. Always have cooling spices like cumin, coriander, fennel seeds, cilantro, then ghee. They are always good for controlling the heat or the acid level in the body and make your blood alkaline.
I see, very important. And the last issue, I think, is another one which is, has people wondering, is EBS, was it right?
IBS.
IBS, irritable bowel syndrome.
Yeah.
What is this about?
IBS, I have seen that many people are suffering nowadays. There are again, not only the digestion is responsible for IBS, but your stress level, phobia, fear, all these things affects your bowel system. So it's called irritable bowel syndrome. When you are irritated, your digestive system or the digestive fire goes down. So whatever you eat, it turns out into mucus. So what happens? Sometimes you have diarrhea or sometimes you have constipation. So this is what happens in irritable bowel syndrome or IBS. So you should be very careful what you are eating.
Yes.
You should not eat wheat. I mean wheat flour. White wheat flour. It's better to have whole wheat rather than the regular wheat. And have the foods which are very easy to digest, not heavy food. And like people I have seen in the Western world, they like to eat lots of bread. So I suggest them, if you want to eat bread and if you are having IBS problem, try to have toasted bread rather than, and as much as fermented food you will avoid, that much is good.
This is Food with Life. Hello and welcome back to Food with Life. I am your host Chapatti and we are with our wonderful doctors and we're going to talk a bit about good digestion. Tell me, when everything is working in the body, all the doshas are working well and everything is being digested properly, what is happening in the body?
See, when your food is digested well or your digestion is good, first thing you will feel is energy. You will feel lots of energy, mentally also, physically also and emotionally also. You will feel very happy, like suppose your constipation is not there, your day goes good, and if you are constipated and whole day you feel bloated, you don't feel happy. So first good symptom of good digestion is energy. You feel lots of energy. So this is one of the good sign of digestion.
There's a word I was reading in the text, you can tell me something about it, ojas. What is it exact?
Ojas is the final byproduct of all our tissues. So whatever food we eat gets absorbed by different tissues of our body, like plasma, blood, muscles, then fatty tissue, bone marrow, bones, and at the end what the byproduct comes is semen or the reproductive organs. And from the semen, the final pure product of our body is called ojas. And according to Ayurveda, ojas is 2 or 3 drops in our body. If the ojas increasing, then you have full energy, vitality and good health and long life. If ojas is low in our body, then we suffer from different diseases which are related to the immune system. Like we can have cancer or sinus problem or multiple sclerosis. These are nothing but the lack of ojas in our body. And to be healthy and to have a long life, we need to preserve our ojas or try to increase the ojas by eating the right kind of food.
I see. Can you recommend to keep the digestion going good and that fire, something about a remedy, a home remedy we could use to keep it very much working?
It is always advisable to have ghee in your food because ghee is the best source of balancing your digestive fire. Also, if you feel that your digestion is not good, you are not feeling hungry on the time or your appetite is very slow, then you can cut fresh ginger into small pieces, then add little like 1/4 teaspoonful of lemon juice and 2-3 pinches of black salt in that and mix it properly and try to chew the ginger just half an hour before your lunch and dinner. Then your digestive fire would be very good.
Good. We talked before also of the one system of the marma. Are there a marma points or many marmas to do this, we can do for our home to try to help
For
the digestion? Yes.
Yeah, there is one marma point which you can do, which helps to release the vata or the air or gases from your body. So on your left hand, there is a point here. So you have to press this 6 times.
6 times.
6 times. So this will help to release the air or the gas from your body. And there is one marma point below this. You have to press this 6 times.
How often do we do this one?
Just 6 times, once a day or twice a day. You can do, or whenever you feel. You can just press it, and this helps to improve or stimulate the enzymes in your body.
Right.
So this marma point and this one, you have to press 6 times.
Okay. Thank you very much for that information. We want you to share in this wonderful knowledge our doctors have given us. We'll be going with them into the kitchen in just a minute, so stay with us. This is Food with Life. Hello and welcome back to Food with Life. We've just been talking with the doctors about digestion and about dealing with good food and how we can make it digest in the body very well. And now we are actually here with them in our kitchen, and we're going to make a few dishes which would help digestion and help us feel very, very good. Because digestion is the base for everything we're doing. So, doctors, please tell us what is our first thing we'll be making here.
Today we are going to make a recipe called upma, and it is very common. People in India mostly they eat this recipe as a breakfast, and it has vegetables and semolina, which is also called as cream of wheat, and it's very easy to digest and very good for the digestive fire. So first of all, we will take 1 tablespoon of ghee. We will put 1 teaspoonful of mustard seed. Allow it to pop. And then we will take 1 chopped onion.
Oh, it's popping.
We will take 1 cup of finely chopped green beans. 1 cup of finely chopped carrots. And 1 cup of peas. And we are going to add 2 cups of water.
Again, they take the bath.
We will allow this to cook for or boil for 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Okay, the timer says 10 minutes coming. I'm wondering, the digestion is so important, as I was saying, and many people have, they have it sometime in the day, they have gas,
Yeah.
and what can they do for this?
See, the reason for gas is basically the indigestion or the heavy food. If the people are eating heavy food and their digestive fire, or we in Ayurveda we say Agni, or the fire, if the digestive fire is not that good, then they collect undigested material in the body, and which creates gases, because those food, instead of getting digested, it rots inside our system and it becomes a mucus. So for this kind of people, they need always to have something very easy to digest and very light food, So this is one of the very light food, Not only the mucus travels if the digestion is not good, but the air or the gases, it travels all the part of the body. We see in our practice, many people, they complain that we have a pain in the chest, we have the pain in our back, we have a pain in the abdomen. So that means the gas is rotating all over, or the air is rotating all over. So if the gases pass down properly, or the food is digested well, they will not complain about this kind of problems.
Okay, so while the timer is going for a few minutes, I want to ask you one more question. It is on the fire cooking. What about the fire inside the body that takes care of the food that we digest? What is it about it?
See, what is the fire outside, what is cooking, same type of fire we have in our body, And if this fire, it's not in a good position, or if the flame of the fire is less, or if it is more, it's still a problem. So we always need a proper balancing fire or a proper balancing Agni. And if you are eating a wrong diet or heavy food, what you will do, you will slow down your fire. So we need something very balancing food, So this is one of the very balancing food what we are today we are making the recipe, the upma. So this is the best recipe. And in India, everyone mostly in the morning breakfast they use upma, because it's very easy to digest.
Very wise.
It's ready. You can always add more water if it is not cooked properly. But our upma is cooked properly. So now we will add lemon juice, about 1 teaspoonful.
Stir up some, yes?
Yes. And some salt for the taste. Some black pepper for the taste, which helps our digestion also. And we will garnish it with cilantro, which is very good and very cooling, helps as antacid also.
And it's very pretty.
It looks beautiful
Yes.
and colorful.
Yes. So I
You
have a
want to-
flavor?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that taste. Good. I can't say anything. It's so good. This is wonderful. It's wonderful for digestion, breaking down the foods and feeling better. I very much want to thank our wonderful doctors for being here and helping us with this first dish we're having. I want you to stay with us. We have one more dish to show you. Have a good time. We'll see you back here very soon. This is Food with Life. Hello, and welcome back to Food with Life. I'm your host, Chapatti, and we're now going to do our second dish that will help you with digestion. So we'll have our wonderful doctors here to show us something. And one thing I like about this dish, you do it with an oil or with no oil. So it's very much up to you. But doctors, please tell us what we'll be having.
Today we are using very interesting mung, split mung. It can be yellow or it can be green. And this soup is very good for digestion. You know, the people may be having gas or acidity problem, it will calm it down. So what we are doing, we are taking split mung beans, half a cup, putting in a pan. Then we are taking butternut squash, something like one ball. You can use some other squashes also or some other vegetables also. So put it in the pan. Then we will take two chopped zucchini.
Okay.
Put it in the bowl. And then we will add the spices which will help to balance our digestion. So we are using like 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, like 1 teaspoon to half teaspoon of cumin powder. We will use 1 teaspoonful of fennel powder, which is good for acidity. Then we will use like half a teaspoon of turmeric, and we will use like quarter to half teaspoonful of oregano. You know, and then we will add something like 4 cups of water to it.
This is the bath.
Yeah, this is the bath. And we will keep it on the stove and we will cook it on low to medium fire
Yes, for
about half an hour.
half hour.
Yeah,
So we should put the top on and let it cook a bit.
yeah, that would be the good idea.
Very good.
Our digestion is the key for our health as well as the problems. If our digestion is 100% good, then whatever food we eat gets digested well and we remain healthy. But according to Ayurveda, if your digestion is not good, then you will get all the sicknesses and all the problems. So the food whatever we eat should be light, should have good spices and should be easy to digest. Now, for example, if you are eating the food which is very heating in nature or producing gases, then this gas and acidity will travel into our blood, then come out from the skin, and then the gases will give us dryness and the acid level will give us skin problems.
I know very much, sometimes people, and myself too, they have mucus
Yeah.
congestion. What is this actually?
Mucus is very interesting thing. When your food is not digested, then it forms a mucus. Or if you eat the food in the wrong time, or your lifestyle is completely wrong, like people who sleep in the daytime and they don't sleep in the night, you will find those people basically having collection of the mucus in the morning. So they always have to spit out in the morning, or they feel always their lungs is covered with the mucus. But that mucus, we think it is due to the cough problem, you know, but it's not due to cough. It is undigested mucus which has traveled up and it's covering your lungs area.
I see.
The problem which you are mentioning is the problem related to ama. When your food is not properly digested, it forms a mucus and a toxic substance which gets accumulated in your intestines, and then it becomes hard and hard and hard, and then you feel constipated or hard stools. Then you need to take laxatives for passing the stools. So if you take care of your diet, then you will not need all these things.
Okay.
So your diet should be rich in the fibers, like mung bean is the heavy source of fiber, and it should be soupy and lightly cooked.
Good.
Then you will not get constipation.
So we will bring the soup here. Now what we can do, the people who have lots of gases problem, they can always add like 1 pinch to 2 pinch of asafoetida and some black pepper to this. See, oregano has a very good uses. One, it works as an anti-acid and anti-gas, So people who burp, it's good for them, and as well as it helps to remove the parasites from your system. So oregano has a very good quality as an anti-parasites. Okay, and you can always use ghee also a little bit for the taste if you want. And now we can all taste it.
Okay, now, I'm always the one to taste.
Taste first.
And I feel selfish because you don't have a flavor, so you should have some. I very want this to be that way.
You can see how it looks. And one thing, you can garnish with cilantro.
Oh, pretty
Okay,
green.
Pretty. I will taste it.
You taste it, please.
See how it is?
How do you like?
Very tasty. This is my one of the main food. Every day I try to eat this. When I am touring the world, I try to have more and more mung beans so the digestion is easy.
It feels nourished. It's nourishing the body and the cells,
Yeah, sure.
Very, very lovely. I want to say thank you very, very much, Dr. Sumita Prajapati, Dr. Dube. It's been very nice to have you here to help us with our wonderful digestion segments of food. And I am Chapatti, your host. Thank you very much for watching. This is Food with Life.
Chapatti, thank you for your recipes.